I was recently invited to lead worship at a small men's conference, kind of out in the middle of nowhere at a cabin. Now, this is kind of a nice cabin, but it's a lot different than like a nice church auditorium. So I want to show you some of the gear that we're using to make this happen, and maybe there were some regrets of some gear I didn't bring along. So let's go on a little tour behind the scenes of what it looked like for us to set up at this cabin with just a 4-piece band. Let's go. All right, so we just got loaded into the men's conference, and yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of interesting because you can see we got to go on either side of the fireplace. Oh, this is what it looks like from the front. So we got to set up sound. There's Bill right here. Say hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
What's up, Bill? So we got a fireplace right behind us, as you can tell, and the guys will sit and be mostly up front. So the drummer's got to be in the back. I'm gonna be over here on this side, and we got Bill and Carlos on this side, so it's guitar and bass. So it'll be pretty interesting. I don't know how it's gonna sound yet, but we got to get sound going. We're gonna try. We're gonna have the sub back here in the kitchen with Josh. Josh is playing drums, so that way he can have some of that feel. And we're gonna try to have the speakers a little bit further back. We're gonna try to have the speakers back here, and they can plug in literally right there. I just want them back here. I think it'll help Josh. Josh is going in the middle in the kitchen. I think it'll help him. We're gonna put the sub right beside him, so that way he can get a feel for what's going on. We're not running in-ears. I did not bring those. Okay. So that's another thing. We're not running in-ears. I did not bring those. It's literally what I just said. We just finished setting up. My drummer's not here yet. I don't know where he is, but we got everything set up. Everything's looking nice and good. And I want to do this video because I want to show you guys a complete opposite of what you saw last week on the channel, or whenever that was, when we went to Christ Church. We went to Christ Church in Oak Brook is what it was called. Christ Church, Oak Brook. And it was an amazing setup. I mean, they had multiple auditoriums. They had all kinds of stuff, gear beyond belief. I mean, just an amazing worship setup. However, this is the complete opposite. So we're setting up for a men's conference. There's gonna be about 20 guys in here, plus myself, and actually I think the guys in the band are also registered. So there's gonna be about 20 people in here. And it is like I said, complete exact opposite setup. However, we are using some tech. So there is some stuff to talk about. It's not an acoustic set per se. So right over here is my station. This is the Yamaha CP73. And it actually sounds really good. It is a CP, so it's, you do have some sounds like this. But I am mostly using piano tonight. It's probably my favorite keyboard I've ever used, at least since I've been playing. But I love it. I actually used an 88 version of this the last time we were actually at this campground, and it made me fall in love with it, so then I bought one for myself. Anyway, so that's what I'm using tonight, and this is the Earthworks Ethos microphone. This is the one that I've had on the channel for a while. And then this right here is my iPad. I have it on I have no idea what the name of the stand is, but I'll link it below so that we can check that out. But it's just an attachment. It goes onto a mic stand, and so that way you can easily undo it, get it out, and then put it back in. Different size iPads, like the iPad Pro and stuff like that. This is just a regular iPad. I'm running music stand on the iPad, so I can switch, back and forth between the songs if I need lyrics or whatever, or chords if I forget those. And then I think that's about it. A regular stand. I don't know what kind of stand that is. It doesn't matter. And then I stole this stool from this cabin, and it works. It feels good too, better than my piano stool. For PA sound, we are going with the QSC K series. This is this the old one? Yes, this is the old one. This is a K8. It actually sounds really good in here. We have it set up pretty nice too. And I have it, now you're probably thinking, why do you have it set up behind your vocals? Well, it actually sounds really good back here as opposed to being up there in their faces. And we have no feedback whatsoever. At all. Like did you hear any? No. So there's no feedback whatsoever. It sounds really good. I'm excited about that because last time we were in here, we used a totally different system and it didn't sound as good. But we are using the K sub as well. So this is the QSC sub. I don't know what the exact model it is, but y'all know which one it is. The K series sub, awesome. And then another one over here. So we are running stereo left and right. This is a newer one. They changed it. They had, this is the K8.2. One went out at the church and then we had to buy a new one and we bought the 8.2 for some reason. And then let's go to sound board. So for our sound board, if you will, we're using the Behringer X Air 18. This thing is an awesome portable board, and it actually uses, you can do the iPad app on an iPad, and that's how we're mixing today. Or you can run it on a laptop as well. We were mixing like that earlier, getting everything set up. But we are now running the iPad, running my phone as a hotspot because we don't have internet up here at this cabin, and running Spotify directly to the Behringer. And I didn't have the proper aux cable for this. I also didn't have a direct box because we forgot all that stuff and we don't feel like going back 30 minutes to the church. Not that far, but. So I plugged the aux cable in halfway and it works perfect. This is our little charging station right here. The table we stole from over there. So back on this side, we have bass right here. Normally you'd have bass next to your drummer. He is using a Soundgear 305, I think. And I think he's got some pretty old strings on it too. Let's see. Yeah, they're pretty dead. Okay. Carlos, if you watch this video, change your strings. So anyway, Carlos is playing bass. We got Bill on guitar on two. Wait a minute. He only has one arm on this side and one arm on this. How does he play with two necks? It doesn't make any sense to me. But there's a 12 string attached to a 6 string for some reason. Anyway, that's pretty much the setup. I'll show you the drums once he gets here. I'll let him talk about his drums and kind of show you how we have it set up. Josh is here.
Hey.
What's up, dude? You ready?
Up? Yep, I will be in a few minutes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Getting his drum set up. We'll show you what they are in just a second. So tell us a little bit about what we're looking at.
So these are drums, these CNC drums. So I'm a big fan of vintage sound, but not actual vintage, because a lot of times they still have some quirks or they're not exactly like pristine unless you want to pay $4,000 or $5,000.
Right.
But this is basically modern vintage, but they are a custom company out of Kansas City. But they also like manufacture like their own lines and stuff too. So this is called the Player Date 2. There's 2 different ones. These are a mixture of poplar and maple. So my ride is my trusty go-to. It's a Heartbeat. It's a 24-inch jazz light ride.
So you're going with a pretty simple setup for in here since we're playing in this little cabin area.
And this is thin enough that where you can crash on it, but it's also real dark. The simple setup, you can call it a quiet setup. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll sound good. I'm excited. What throne are you using?
I don't even know.
Gibraltar?
A Gibraltar. I've had this since like 2005.
Sweet.
That's the one piece of drums that I don't trade all the time.
Yeah. Your seat. Yeah, that makes sense. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's been good.
Well, thanks for playing.
Thanks for asking me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much to the church that allowed me to come lead worship at this men's conference. And also thank you to my team for coming with me, setting up and getting all that stuff ready. And as you can see, you don't actually need a lot to make something like this happen. And, you know, we could have added more stuff. We could have added in-ears and just a lot of different things, but we wanted to make it simple on ourselves. And that's what I wanted to kind of show in this video, is that you don't need a lot to make something like this happen. You really don't need anything, because that's not what worship's about. Worship's not about the gear. Worship's about a response to God. However, when we lead worship for a group of people, we do want it to be louder and more audible. So if you want to check out some of the gear that we did use, I put links in the description below so you can check those out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and remember, great worship leaders are always learning. Also, put a like on the video if you like stuff like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.